Hello, this is going to be an updated version of a little stream guide, as I know we're going to have a few extra streamers coming in. Just bear with me, because I'm not used to having to stream on one OBS and show on another. But the old guide is like 40 minutes, hopefully this can be a much quicker version to do the main skills. There's probably a few bits and pieces I won't fully cover, but everything here should get you up and running. Anyone question, or me, Darkness, anything. So first and foremost, what you probably want to get used to is this stream assets channel. There's going to be things here that you want to get. So first and foremost is for both ISFL and DSFL streaming, you're going to want to download this file, ISFL file. You just download it and insert it as a media source. This thing that goes at the front like this. There will also be a DSFL one, but the DSFL one doesn't have any sound, and I've got to upload it into that channel. If you ever do DSFL streaming, what you've got to do is put the DSFL file first, and when you go into it, they'll both play, and the sound of the ISFL one will play underneath, and that's how you do it. If you're not using the DSFL one, you can just click the button to hide it, and it's set, and it's done. The next scene I have set up is for thumbnail. I would say you'd have all your pictures and graphics downloaded. It would come in a folder like this, and it's just a simple PNG. Usually at this screen, when you have it on here, would Alt-Tab and set up the music to start playing. Usually go find something like a lo-fi, DMCA type stuff. If you don't have anything above your head, you can ask and someone can send you theirs. And then you move over to results, which should come better. This is the screen where you see your results. Now this is where you're going to learn about your favorite tool being studio mode. What happens is, what you're recording will stay on the right side, but you can see what you're changing on the left side. So for some people, what they're going to want to do is have each game's result set as a different picture. So you'd have like results 1, results 2, results 3, results 4. All of them are going to be different, just simple images added. That's it. For others, and what I personally do, is once I start a game, I'll come in onto studio mode, go select the image and change it to the next game. So then by the end of the game, this is already updated, and it means my scenes are a lot more concise. We'll come back to box score, because that's a newer thing. But what it essentially does is, if we go to our game and click box score at the top, it'll show us this with none of the other images. It's pretty simple to set up, much easier than doing the sim, but once I teach you how to do the sim, this part will be a lot easier. And then we'll go to the sim next. Show you an example. This is what the sim looks like in the window. You can see there's a lot of space, and that's going to be the main thing we have to edit out. Whilst we're here, the first things first. These bars at the top, what you want to do is you put them all the way to the top, and then for me it's page down. Just hit it 1, 2, 3 times. Same for both of them. 1, 2, 3. So essentially, these bars have like 10, so 100%. You have it at about 70%. Like I said, hit page down 3 times. But see what it looks like there compared to what it looks like in the sim. There's a big difference. That's because we have to use 3 different window captures to get the sim set up. You have one stats on the right, one for the stats on the left, as well as the main sim, plus you add in just a simple from color scheme white background. To show you how to do this, test sim display, I will show you. First off, just do background white. That's all you have to do for that. We then window capture, and you want it to be the sim. This is the first one. Make sure, say, it fits all the way. What you want to do is, once you have it full, holding control on the dot, it allows you to crop it. So for this one, we'll do the stats box on the right. Pretty much want to follow the outline of the box. A bit bad, but then you just stick it in the corner. We'll rename this to stats on the right. Then need another one for stats on the left. Same thing, you pick the sim window, full size it. Using the control button now, you can drop it down. It's about right. Pop it in the corner. Then we need one last capture for the field. Oop, you can't use the same name, so we test field. Close in, same thing. Size it. And now what we want to do is we go one side of the field, one side of the field, and top. So it'll look something like this. And then what you have to do is you want to resize it. You want the field probably something about that. The field goes to the bottom of the three, and then the stats sit on top. And then you can readjust the stats or the field to try and sort of cover up a lot of the space. We've got to come here, we've got to make this full white FFF, and you can see it looks pretty much perfect. The reason we don't do other colors is because of, let's say if I make this green, it's only these little sidebars that would go green. Could we do it potentially for Color Rush? But because the middle is still white, it does kind of look a bit weird. But that is how you set up your sim. So once the sim's going, it's about 10 minutes for a game. During those 10 minutes, especially if you do the way I do it, where you just can say, once you start the game, you come here into studio mode, change the file over in about 30 seconds. For the next 10 minutes, you don't really have to do anything. You just gotta sit, wait for the game to finish. You know, you can go do a few things, but about 10 minutes, a little bit longer if it goes to overtime. Once the game finishes, comes up with the end game, you click back into results and onto this screen. Now, a new thing we have been doing is to really help people show their stats is the box scores, which on the sim, all you gotta do is click box score and it comes up. Just like the sim file, you gotta do is a window capture, and I usually find it much easier to do when you're already in the sim. Just window capture, scores, the box, name it whatever you want. If you bring up the box score, it gives you a much better indication of what you need. Go to the two edges and you're done. Tiny bit more, this way the field's not on. Then what you have to do is, usually once you go into it, wait a little bit so people can read or play the games, see the scoring summary, quarterback, running back stats. I usually give it about 10 seconds. I just count in my head. And then I just start scrolling. You know, play a little song in your head. Scroll. Usually what you can see, other to kicking. You stay here for about 10 seconds. And so at the start you can see is passing and rushing. So when scrolling, the only part that doesn't get seen statically is receiving. If you go slow enough, they'll be able to read it, and then everyone else can sort of stop and find themselves. And then all you have to do in order for that is you use the eyes. So always, for me, I always have box scores down the bottom and visible. So what I do for results, so I will come to this screen, and whilst it's on that screen, once the game ends, I would come to here. Let's say I was on the match. This looks weird because it's not in the game. Do that. The game ends. I would go to results. Quickly flick this up. Go to the sim. Hit box score. Back to OBS, and then I click the visible eye that hides the results. Boom. You got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Scroll, 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 scroll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put this back up so people can see what the next game is, and go back into the sim, close, click whatever the next game is, and then you're ready to go. Click play. Standings is again self-explanatory. You take the image that you've gotten of the standings and just whack it in here, and then you can just change it by doing this every single time. This is an ISFL specific thing, and this is the game intro animations. As you can see, it's just a quick little video. Yeti at Berlin here. If you go to Discord, again pinned in the stream assets chat, you will download all of these, and you'd work out what game it is. Usually you'd have it all set up in a folder, and then you just search. So if you look, it's all in alphabetical order: Arizona, Austin, Baltimore. So let's say for this game we have, what game was it? It was the Occo at Yellowknife. What I would do is you would search Occo, find at Yellowknife. Bam, it's done. Then what you would start to do when we piece it all together is you let this go for about 2 cycles. Normally what I do, can do 1. There is sound to it, so make sure you allow the sound to happen. I personally mute my own microphone, and you can't mute desktop audio because you're going to have Spotify, say, music playing. That's the other thing, you can't really be doing sound on your computer. So you can still be, say, on Discord. It'll automatically put you into a streamer mode, or say a do not disturb mode. Then you go into intro. This is, say, your thumbnail. Start to play music. Go into results. People can see the matchups. Again, I usually give about 10-15 seconds. So this is about 10 seconds, 15 seconds to go through twice. I sit this for about 5-6 seconds, and I sit on this for about 10 seconds, and it hits about 30 seconds is when I move on to the first match. If you're in ISFL, what you're going to have to do is go into this screen, blah blah blah. Once it goes black, click match. You'll already have the game loaded, the play speed. It stays the same once you have the file open. If I go into any of these games, you don't have to change it, just once per sim or stream, and you just hit play game, and that would be it. Sometimes in graphics, I'm not too sure if it happens all the time as much in ISFL now. You would also have a graphic that is the next games, and you would also just put that in, and these bottom 2 you don't have to care about, that's only for me. On the back end of things, You can always pause a sim, which is really handy in double sims. You can pause it, pause the music, go load the new file, and just come back and play, instead of having to say do 2 different videos or something, and then just stop recording. For me, what I like to do normally is go through here. If you ever do event or live streams, you need this, but none of us have to do that. Output for recording. That's what we have to do. So work out where you want it to be saved. Doesn't really matter. I do mine as an MP4. I do hear you can do other things, but MP4 is the most universal. Most people would be able to work on stuff. Works easiest, I think, with YouTube. And it's pretty much norm. I personally don't know any of these things. I wouldn't change it. The main thing I would be looking at is to just try and make sure it's as good as possible. Nothing in there. Audio. Again, I don't think you have to do anything in here. Video. This is probably important. Just try and have it as high, as good as you can. And then I don't think you need anything in here. That then means we have, on the back side, you'll be given access to ISFL Simulation Football account. This is something once you're going to have to upload, you will do, and then this is normal dashboard. If you've ever done YouTube videos, you'll know. If you do not, then this might look very weird to you. The main things you're gonna pretty much have to know is upload videos. You won't have this go live button. That is something separate I have because I do off-season events. Yes, upload videos, select files, wherever your video saves. So for me, it goes to here. You would just enter it. Do a test, not to actually do it. Title, so it's usually ISFL or DSFL. It's not S season, whatever season it is. And then just week 1, week 7, week 15. If it's color rush, I just add it on the end, but otherwise don't have to. Or you could have like DSFL S34 Ultra Mini, ISFL S34 Conference Championships, anything of the like. Nothing goes in description. Thumbnail, it's what you used in the intro scene. So you would upload that. Playlist, usually I try and make sure they're created. If you do it for the ISFL, you click it. If it's for the DSFL, click it. That's all you would have to do. Video elements, you don't have to do anything. Check, don't have to do anything. Try to avoid, if there's any, usually it's not too bad if there's a song or two that strike, but just remember we don't want our channel taken down. And then there's visibility, which is very important to make sure you do. You want to set it as an instant premiere and schedule the video. And also you can just do it in here, schedule, set as premiere. So this means the watch page, and it'll be a countdown, and it'll go live at this time. And then you will have to just put this in. You put it into your time zone, but remember, games are 8 PM EST. So for me, I have to set the games. If it's a Monday night game, I would have to set it for Tuesday, 12 PM for my time zone. If you're West Coast, you would probably have to set it for like 5 PM, because I think it's a 3 hour difference. You would set as premiere, and then you would hit schedule, and then this would be complete. And don't have to worry about that. Back end, you don't have to worry about any of this. You can just simply from the dashboard upload the video, and you would be done. That's pretty much all there is to it. So if there's any other questions from that, you can always ask. Should really help speed up your process and show you how simple streaming actually is.